striker Miles Abodo, Fletcher Hubbard, Harry Gray and George Alston. Aldershot, we think, will play the same formation as Swindon effectively, with Jordi van Stappershoff, the giant Dutchman, in goal. Haji Manoka, former Swindon player, Cian Harris and Ollie Harfield, the three central defenders. Aaron Jones and Ryan Glover, the wing backs. Theo Widrington, Tyler Frost in midfield. Josh Stokes a little further forward, the top league scorer. And then Swiss striker Laurent Tollarge, partnered by Jack Barham. Their subs are 18-year-old goalkeeper Jason Shake, Kobe Rowe, who Swindon will know from Sutton last year, Joe Haig, Maxwell Mullins, Tommy Millard, Ollie Turner, Dayan Tetek and Kwame Thomas. Carl Brook is our referee, so Phil, you've been on both sides of the coin, the hunter and the hunted, but we think both sides are going to try and attack here, looking at their score lines throughout the season.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, I think it's essential that's what Swindon do. They need to hit the ground running. They need to get at Aldershot. I think if they start the way that they did against MK Dons, then it's going to be a long afternoon for them and a nervy afternoon. Not saying that they won't get the result, but I think if they can come out the traps, they can be quick, they can be sharp, they can get the ball up to the forward men quickly and support them, then by all means I think they should get through this afternoon with a decent result. That being said, any kind of slip, any kind of carrot given to Aldershot, then I think it's going to make it more difficult, obviously, in the afternoon, because they've been doing okay. So, in the balance, I think this one.
So it's more than a decade since Aldershot were last here, and good afternoon to any Aldershot listeners joining us on BBC Sounds as well. We'll look after you. Aldershot about to play from left to right in the change kit of the white shirts with the light blue stripes, black shorts and white socks. It's a little bit like Argentina 78 and Swindon all in red, and they go straight back to the goalkeeper Van Stappershoff. And here is Cian Harris, the defender who was at Swindon last season, who dribbles his way past Kemp and plays an early ball forward, and Hutton, who's already slotted in at left back, heads it away. And here Aldershot just outside the box with a low ball into the box from Glover, and the visitors score inside the first 30 seconds of this FA Cup tie. Jack Barham, I think, has swept it home, and Swindon are behind before they've even touched the ball against the non-leaguers. Swindon 0, Aldershot 1.
Absolutely disastrous start really there, and we've not really done anything. Aldershot, I mean, again, we go back to how they've been in previous weeks. So much space and time for Aldershot. The ball up to the front man. No one winning the header. Nobody near the knockdowns. And then a couple of little passes in there. No one getting tight. A little cross into the box. And again, nobody near anybody in the box, and just slots it past Mahoney. Disastrous start. Swindon haven't even got started really. I feel like they're even still doing a warm-up. But that is exactly what they didn't want, and Aldershot will be buzzing now, and it's going to be a very difficult afternoon going forward.
So we'll kick off for the second time. This time it's Swindon's turn, trailing 1-0. Like I say, that defence is not quite what we expected, with Hutton out on the left-hand side, and it looked from a Swindon perspective disorganised, I think, Phil. We can say already as McEachran lays the ball off down the left-hand side, and Aldershot suddenly have freedom in the middle here, and this is played forward to Tyler Frost, who shoots from just outside the penalty area straight into the chest of Mahoney. 1-0 Aldershot lead already.
Again, straight away, gaps in between the defenders. There's like the back, three with Minton is on the right hand side, and Brewitt and Blake Tracy. Brewitt in the middle and Blake Tracy on the left, but the gaps in between Blake Tracy and Brewitt are massive again, and just a lot of space in the middle then for the Aldershot forward to a bit of time, have a touch. Fortunately for us, the strike wasn't that great, and it was straight at Mahoney into his mid-drift. But after the start that they've had, you'd think they'd beat you, go and win a header or go and stamp your authority, but it hasn't happened just as yet.
So Aldershot 1-0 up here. 1,200 fans of theirs in support. They sold out the section of the John Trollope stand away to the left. I'm sure they could have got more fans onto the bank here. So Swindon have got a back four, it looks like, with Minturn at right back. Shade is certainly playing up front at the moment, but they have not settled. Aldershot have. Barham with the goal, and they lead 1-0 as Blake Tracy plays the ball forward and straight out of play, and they just look as if they're sort of blinking a little bit, Swindon, and a bit taken aback by what Aldershot have hit them with.
Yeah, it looked like they've been sucker punched, and they're sort of dazed a little bit, and Blake Tracy's on the ball there in the middle, and he's got really no options. He's trying to go back to Mahoney, no one really doing anything, still being harried by the Aldershot centre forward, Stokes, and no one really doing anything, and this is where you need someone to really grab everybody.
Mahoney has come out of his goal here and he's in trouble as Aldershot try and clip the ball in, and there's an attempted and a vicious lob, and Aldershot have scored again through Barham out on the left side of the penalty area. It is 2 goals in the opening 3.5 minutes. 1,200 Aldershot fans and the Swindon crowd cannot believe what they are seeing. Swindon 0, Aldershot 2.
Well, I mean, he's been caught a couple of times, you know, coming out, but I don't think you can sort of say anything about that one. Mahoney's come out to deal with the ball, but a long ball over the top onto the right hand side of the 18-yard box in Swindon, and as it's come in, it's just sort of checked the bounce and it's just got caught a little bit, but the Aldershot centre forward has just got his toe in there to take it around him. And whereas we saw it a few weeks ago where the lad sort of had a nosebleed for an open goal, this lad, he had complete composure there, right on near the touchline outside the 18-yard box, and he's just, Mahoney's out of his goal, no one in the net, and he's just lifted it over him and put it into the far post. Fantastic finish, but I mean, an absolutely dreadful start for Swindon so far. Yeah,
got to give Barham credit for the finish. He's down by the byline. Once Mahoney's out and exposed, he's just lobbed him from a fairly tight angle on the left side of the penalty area. Only brought in today, Barham. He's not been a particularly regular starter for Aldershot. He's kind of been in and out of the side, and he's scored twice inside the opening 4 minutes here. We haven't got the kick-off ready because Swindon have a man down. McEachran looks like he's gone down inside the penalty area, and Swindon are all over the place with this revised and curious looking defence, and Aldershot have taken advantage, and they are in a brilliant position already, just minutes into this FA Cup tie. Swindon 0, Aldershot 2.
Yeah, and I can't really say what's happened there to McEachran. I think as the goal's gone in, it's just turned around and he's gone down holding his head, so I'm not really quite sure what's going on there, but you know, it's exactly what you don't want, and it's exactly kind of what happened when we see him play and we see the holes that are there and the gaps that are there, but we've got away with it for quite a long time, I think. But in the first 2 chances that Aldershot have had, where Swindon haven't been authoritative at the back, they haven't, you know, been at the races, as it were, and they've been punished twice, and not from a team that you'd expect. You'd expect it from teams on a Saturday in the league, you know, teams flying high, but you wouldn't expect it from the team below. But they've absolutely punished Swindon, and you could argue that they could probably have 3, because in the second shot, although it was a tame shot, you know, he had plenty of time to shoot. On another day, that could be 3-0. So Swindon, and you think after the first goal, maybe a little bit of a reaction from Swindon, but they got caught out again, and yeah, I can imagine the manager's not going to be very happy. But this is where you want your leaders, and this is where you want someone to grab everybody. You know, everyone's standing around the pitch, they're nowhere near each other, no one pulling each other in and saying, listen, we've got a long way to go in the game yet, we've got to get back in it as quickly as possible. You know, there's a bit of concern obviously for the player down, but no one's around him checking if he's all right. And you know, no one's really talking to anybody, just sort of in their positions waiting to start the game, and that's what I don't really like to see. You know, I want someone to grab everyone and sort of give them a lift and sort of say, we got to do something about this, because you know it's going to be a long afternoon for us.
Swindon currently dazed, literally in McEachran's case, figuratively in everyone else's, and confused. Swindon 0, Aldershot 2 already, but that McEachran injury, although he is up and walking off, has got. So let's see how Swindon try and kind of line up here. And just in terms of the tactical formation from their perspective, I don't think it was what we expected. We'll see if they're going to play more with the sort of 3 at the back here. So Swindon kick off here, 2-0 down to Aldershot, who've been scoring plenty of goals, by and large winning games, bar their defeat against Dorking Wanderers last week. They picked up 4 wins in a row, beating Lewis comfortably to set up this tie, and Swindon just trying to get some forward movement going, but Blake Tracy plays the ball forward. Harris lamps it away, and Barham, the predator-in-chief of the day, wins ahead here. But Aldershot can settle down. It feels like they can dictate the tempo of the game already.
Yeah, and there's still no reaction from Swindon, and you know, Blake Tracy had the ball there and just sort of tried to hit the front man, but it was a poor ball up, you know, in between the 2 front men, and then just easy for Aldershot to come back. But you know, Swindon not really laying the glove, not getting close to Aldershot, apart from Dan Kemp's just done a little bit there, but not really a lot at all.
So Kemp got in there and closed down Harris. Swindon look like now they've changed things around a bit. Godwin Malife more at right back, Hutton, Brewitt and Blake Tracy as the 3 central defenders, and Hutton Godwin, Malife, Brewitt and Minton as the three central defenders. Hutton at left back. So Swindon with a throw in here. 2-0 down already in this FA Cup tie. And thrown forward by Blake Tracy and easily won by Minoga, who's happy to lump it clear. Barham flicks it on up towards the top scorer Tolaj, headed clear by Blake Tracy. Kemp in midfield here, tries to get it forward to Shea, but it's won neatly by Aldershot in midfield. And Tyler Frost, who just floats this one up in towards Barham. Blake Tracy has missed his header. Barham could be in for the hat-trick. He's cut it back-heeled in towards Aldershot midfielder, and Stokes has made it 3-0 inside the opening 10 minutes. And this is an absolute rout by the non-league team, who have cut Swindon apart at will in every attack. 2 for Barham and 1 for Stokes. Swindon 0, Aldershot 3, and there are not 10 minutes on the clock.
Well, I mean, that is, if you want to look at passive defending from a team, there's your example right there. Blake Tracy, who's for me struggled in the air quite a lot recently, and again there, just a simple ball over the top. You think he's favourite to get it, just a little bit of contact from the Aldershot forward, and he's got nowhere near it, you know. Really weak from Blake Tracy there, and then he's got plenty of time in there, and he passed the ball into the box, 2 of them in the middle, and again no one's really laid a glove on him. You think 2-0 down, you know, try and challenge him. It's just trying a little cut around him just to try and get a little toe on the ball, but you got to be, I know it may be in the box, but you got to be strong there. You got to do something, and he's just shrugged it off, and he's had, for me, loads of time, too much time, and then he's picked his spot. You know, Mahoney, no real chance.
Hutton wide on the right-hand side, cross into the box. First action for the Aldershot goalkeeper, Van Stappershoff, is to take the cross, and Swindon are, they're almost playing, pick your back three after and change it after each goal, because now Godwin Malife is in the centre, you've got Brewitt and Minton there, and Hutton and Blake Tracy on the wing. So Mike Flynn will be asking a few questions about his plans here at the moment as Minton tries to deal with Tormentor-in-Chief Barham, gets it back to Mahoney. 10 minutes gone. Aldershot lead 3-0 here in the FA Cup as Tolaj gets it. Here's Glover on the left-hand side, trying to get away from Hutton. See if he can meander forward, the former Bournemouth player. Glover is pushed backwards, but it doesn't matter for Aldershot at the moment. Harfield, the defender down the left-hand side. Godwin Malife is there. Khan's trying to win it. Aldershot are too strong. With Stokes here. Now Frost rolls this out to the right, where Jones, the captain, the right back, has got forward. Played into Frost here down the right hand side. Time for him to step up. Look, cross towards the edge of the penalty area. Half cleared by Swindon. This will drop back to Aldershot. Out on the edge of the box, Swindon have a man down with a head injury, decides the referee, and so that will be a rare respite. 3-0 Aldershot, 11 minutes gone.
Yeah, still no reaction really from Swindon. You know, you can't even see a bit of disappointment really in the way that sort of, all right, you can't condone it. You know, sometimes where you see Fernandes at Man United when they're not having a great time, running around, trying to make a challenge, trying to do something. You know, they're 3-0 down in the FA Cup after 10 minutes. You'd like to think somebody would kind of get into that mode where they need to do something like that, just to get the crowd on side for something, just to see that they're trying or they're not happy with the situation. But I haven't really seen any of that, and I expect maybe Brewitt to do something like that, but he's not really had the chance. The only one I've seen with a little bit of physicality has been Minton, really holding the player off and passing it back to Mahoney. But apart from that, nothing really. It's far too passive. But at the end of the day, like, how bad it is for them to be 3-0 down after 10 minutes. There's a long way to go in the game, and they have got more than capable of scoring 3 or 4 goals in this game with the talent that they've got going forward. So, you know, yeah, it's not been a great start, but there is still a bit of time to go. You know, you never know.
Well, they also look like they've got the ability in it to concede more as well, from what we've seen. So drop ball here just outside the box that Theo Widrington takes, quickly floats the cross into the penalty area. Mahoney can claim it, and Swindon will just try and take some breaths here and see if there's anything they can do, anything they can show. 3-0 down here, 2 from Jack Barham and 1 from Josh Stokes, who's been so impressive in terms of goal scoring for Aldershot since signing from Sudbury. Finished that very calmly, and the confidence was all about the way he was sort of set up with the back heel. I think it was from Frost. finishes. Mahoney lifts the ball forward, out down the left-hand side. It's out towards Blake Tracy. Can't win it against the captain, Jones. And Swindon are a sort of ghostly spectral presence on the game, because Aldershot can just kind of wander through them as if they don't exist.
Yeah, and it's, you know, they are still, you know, you think maybe Aldershot might sit back, they might take their time, but maybe they are, but it's not sort of showing, because they're still getting the most things, you know, first. They're still winning challenges, they're still passing it around, they're still, you know, getting second balls like they are now, and look like they can create more chances.
Swindon have won the ball here in midfield through McEachran, who's coming forward with a bit of purpose. He's got Shade to the right, he's got Kemp in here. Kemp down by the byline, tries to get the shot in, and he's screwed it wide past the near post and out of play for a corner. But the first moment of potency from Swindon, who desperately need it, trailing 3-0.
Yeah, and we need a performance from Kemp. You know, he had a week off last week, obviously, and you know, we need him to sort of step up today. He needs to get us ticking. That's the sort of thing we want from him. A little bit of run into the box. But you see the difference, you know, Aldershot got 2 or 3 men around him, not letting him get anywhere. You know, he would have done well to get a corner out of that, you know, just sort of up against him and making it difficult. But we need a big afternoon from Kemp now.
Swindon recent FA Cup House of Horrors. There's a whole host of games. They're losing 4-0 away at National League Macclesfield under Mark Cooper is just but one. But from their point of view, this may top the lot. Kemp has gone down again here, having only just come back on. And he's going to try and lift himself up, but he's hobbling a little bit. The midfielder who's been so potent here. This game hasn't really got started for Swindon in any sense. The combination of injuries and Aldershot revelling in some ruthless finishing to be 3-0 up. Back with Brewitt here on halfway, and now Khan in between the two central defenders, works it out to Minton on the left hand side, forward to Khan. First real passage of football from Swindon, but Khan is brushed off the ball with contemptuous ease by Stokes really, and Widrington just gets it to Harris in midfield, who tries to lift it forward. Not a great ball from him, cut out by Kemp, looks to roll it forward into Shade. Shade can't get hold of the ball, he's a bit passive arguably. The Aldershot defender Harfield nips in front of him, and the visitors clear high and long. 3-0 to Aldershot. Godwin Malife pings it out with a bit of purpose to Shade wide on the right hand side here, looks to take on Harfield initially, goes back to Hutton. Hutton rolls this up towards Kemp on the edge of the box, but easy for Harris to cut out. Tolos, the striker, looks to turn, little foul on him, and the Swiss player wins Aldershot a free kick. So Swindon are starting to show a little bit here, but we will see. 3-0 they're trying.
Yeah, a little bit better, you know, getting on the ball, you know, moving forward, you know, Khan there moving forward, you know, although it was a little bit sideways to start with, going forward, but then got brushed off the ball too easy. You know, some balls into Shade, you know, doing okay. So yeah, a little bit better from Swindon.
Khan tries to lift the ball forward down the left-hand side here. That's going to roll out of play, and Kemp didn't quite look 100% there, and see chased after it. It's a bit of a tradition for shopping for Swindon fans on the 1st of December of each year, and it's going to be a mighty effort to prevent that happening at this stage. Aldershot just head the ball away, comes up to Godwin Malife. Minton gets us back to Brewitt, played back to Minton on the left hand side. So Swindon starting to get a level of possession, but a poor ball from Brewitt, and that's cut out comfortably by Aldershot in midfield. Harris back to Elijah. Now they're looking to float it forward to Stokes here on the left side of the penalty area. Shows good strength to turn away from Brewitt. Now Glover out on the left hand side. Glover cuts past Hutton, floats a good cross into the box. Mahoney comes, pours it away inside the box, and the offside flag had gone up anyway. But again, good sort of movement, passing and play from Aldershot.
Yeah, Swindon can't get, when Aldershot are doing that, Swindon can't get close, or they're not, just haven't got the desire to get close. I'm not really sure which one it is as of yet, because, you know, for one thing they do well, then something bad happens. You know, Khan had good possession just down here and played the ball in the channel, poor ball into the channel. No one could really get on. You know, a little bit of good play between Brewitt and Minton just to sort of start up the play, but then a poor ball from Brewitt up to the front man, and then Aldershot come back at us, and you know they're quite easily getting into our final third. So, you know, not really quite sure if Swindon are, you know, Aldershot are just playing that well, or Swindon aren't really getting into it too, you know, or how they're kind of in it is just a bit too passive.
Here's Shade out wide on the left-hand side. Godwin Malife curls this forward. Hutton's made a good run. Hutton picks this up edge of the penalty area. There's only really Austin going into the box for it. Cross comes in. Aldershot flick it clear. Blake Tracy sets up Kemp. Kemp left side of the box here. Tries to see if he can float the cross, and it's teasing towards the back post. Touched away well by Harris, and Harfield at the back before Austin can come in there. Here's Godwin Malife for Swindon, breaking down the right-hand side, about 20 yards out. Aldershot with plenty of men back here. Played forward towards Hutton. Hutton 6 yards out, another cross into the box. Harris can head that one away, and Aldershot just happy to put this up forward towards Barham. He's one-on-one with Minton, who wins the header. But from Swindon's perspective, they're a bit more potency in that attack, though Aldershot did well.
Yeah, and it sets a little bit of a marker to say Aldershot, well, we are still here and we can still create chances. A bit of good play from Kemp. You know, it didn't look like he was going anywhere. Just dug a ball out into the far post and looked like Charlie might be able to get something on it at the far post. But some great defending there. Two of them, just a really good header at the far post, just to keep it out.
Aldershot, they're not particularly pushing the wing backs forward quite so much at the moment in Jones and Glover. And they've got that advantage. Perhaps they can sit there a little bit. And Swindon are looking up here with Brewitt in possession inside his own half and not really seeing the options they have available to them. McEachran forward here, finds Kemp. Kemp can drive into midfield. He's got Shade away to the right, picks up Shade just on the corner of the box, looks to get it back to Kemp. The 1-2 is a poor one. It's cleared by Aldershot. Hutton whips across into the box again. Harris gets this away. This falls to Kemp. Kemp's about 18 yards out, low shot, and deflects to Van Stopperstoff. Harfield got in a sliding challenge that took the pace out of the ball, and the goalkeeper's able to block it comfortably.
Yeah, good from Kemp, just dropped in deep and picked up the ball. He had plenty of space and turn and run at Aldershot, and you can see how dangerous he is. And a ball into Shade there, and I was just a little bit disappointed that Shade went back to Kemp. I think if he took it on the outside, he could have got shot off.
Well, Kemp's got the ball about 25 yards out here, not too much support ahead of him. Goes back to Khan. Khan drives through midfield here. Really good run from Khan. Plays in Shade. He's offside as the goalkeeper saves anyway. Van Stappershoff. So that was, again, there's more aggression from Swindon. They've started the game, but the scoreboard will tell you with Aldershot 3-0 up, they've started the game about 15 minutes late.
Yeah, and yeah, you're exactly right, because now it looks like Swindon, you know, if they didn't concede the 3 goals, and then you'd be thinking, okay, now Swindon are getting into it, then it's, you know, it's not going to be long before they take the lead. But a lot better. Khan, a good run from him, a nice little ball into Shade, just drifted offside. Goalkeeper saved it. You know, he's a big unit in there, like, so it's going to be difficult when they get close up on a 1v1. So a lot better though from Swindon now.
It's a massive figure. Van Stoppershoff was at Bristol Rovers. Tommy Widrington brought him there as the director of football, but he's 6'6", sort of 2 metres or so in more modern money. As Swindon try and come forward with Godwin Malife, who's over halfway here. Ball out to Blake Tracy, given to Khan. Blake Tracy's about 20 yards out left hand side, finds Kemp just outside the box with Blake Tracy here, but again Aldershot have men back in cover. Blake Tracy's sort of being hassled by the midfielder Tyler Frost to Khan and Godwin Malife. There's no obvious route forward for Godwin Malife here, but he's done really well to get away from Stokes. Breaks towards the box, tries to feed in Austin. Austin's half tackled and completely tackled by Minoga in the end, who's able to clear the ball out of play and go down, having been caught on the ankle. Last time Haji Minoga faced Swindon, he was sent off inside 10 minutes for 2 bookable offences for Gillingham. He kind of had 2 more contrasting opening 10 minutes in his football career, I'd imagine, with Aldershot 3-0 up here, a quarter of the way through the first half. So Blake Tracy to take the throw. Minoga's back up quickly here, looking for a bit of movement. Shade back to Blake Tracy, floats the cross into the box. There's only Austin there to attack it, and it disappears towards the back post area, kept in by Hutton, just hooks it into the box. Shade got it, Austin's trying to flick it forward and turn, and it's just whacked away by Glover. A little bit of panic in the Aldershot defence there, but he lumped it over the bar to safety, and Swindon have a corner.
Yeah, it does look like with the pressure that if Swindon can keep up this pressure, that there will be a goal with it fairly soon for Swindon, if they can keep it up, that is. But you know, now the first time sort of seeing them a little bit uncomfortable, Aldershot, and where Swindon, you know, we know that they have got the prowess going forward and the quality going forward. We've seen it a little bit now.
Well, they tried to play a short corner there to Hutton down by the byline, or from Hutton down by the byline towards Kemp, and Hutton has just effectively side-footed the ball straight out of play. There's an elegant indication of how Swindon have done, trailing 3-0, and just from the corner. You could see the idea, but execution hard.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like you say, just building them up to doing well and getting back in the game, and just something silly like that. And listen, you back him all the time to put a decent ball in the box, but you know, just a lack of concentration there, or eagerness, or just I'm not sure, but just it's just one of them, and you think, oh God, no. But you know, if it had come off and it would have been what he wanted, obviously he didn't want to kick it out. If it had been what he wanted, then Kemp could have been in, like, you know, and it would have been a decent idea.
24 minutes gone. Aldershot were 3-0 up inside the opening 10 minutes. 2 for the striker Jack Barham, and 1 for Josh Stokes, who's been such a prolific scorer for Aldershot from the number 10 position at the moment. Glover has it wide on the left hand side. He can just let it run out of play for a throw in. So Aldershot with the light blue stripes and the white shirts. They look like Argentina 78 for the first 15 minutes. They played like them, Phil, pretty much.
Can't remember 78.
Good excuse. Good excuse. Sardiles and Ricky Villa and all the rest of them. Mario Kempes. Aldershot give the ball away here as Swindon just try to launch it forward, but it's well beyond Kemp. Minogue can get here and go back to the goalkeeper Van Stappershoff, who looks relaxed on the ball, finds Tyler Frost in midfield. And Frost can get this up towards halfway. Important challenge by Brewitt to deny Tollage, and then just volleyed forward in a hurry by Aldershot in midfield and by Frost, but straight through to Mahoney. So the game was kind of settled from the explosive start, but I'd say Aldershot, if they kind of keep their discipline and they keep the shape here, they can make it hard for Swindon, and already they look like they can threaten on the counter-attack.
Yeah, it does look like Aldershot.
Austin nicks the ball off the defender Harfield here, and in the end Austin is convinced he's brought down by Harfield, who's shown a lot of energy to win it back. Aim long towards Barham. Minton can head it clear. It drops to Tolai, and now Stokes, and Aldershot looking for Tolai again, but Khan's in front of him to break play up before it goes back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it does feel like Aldershot have just took the foot off the pedal a little bit, you know, and let Swindon come into the game, which is dangerous for them and good for us, like, but just Swindon not quite finding the right pass or the right moments at the minute.
Here's Minogue trying to come forward down the right hand side. He shrugged off the challenge of McEachran. Widrington Jr. just gets hold of the ball in midfield. Aldershot have it with Harfield here, just to come down the left hand side initially. Rolled further forward to the striker Barham, who's really sort of had a bit of license to kind of move around, pop up. He's popped up in wide positions for the second goal. And Aldershot go back to the goalkeeper. And Swindon sort of just backing off here. A tall upright figure of Harris has time to float a ball with his left foot towards Tollage through the middle. Minton won it. Header back from Brewitt towards Mahoney, who'll bring that under control. Play it to Brewitt again. So Swindon, they look more comfortable really with familiar players in familiar positions. Austin has it here and moves this square towards Blake Tracy. Midway inside the Aldershot on the left hand side. Khan has this ball right in the centre, picks out McEachran. Hutton's the obvious outlet wide on the right hand side. Hutton could take on the full-back Glover here, skips over the ball, goes on his left foot just outside the box, cross into the back post. Blake Tracy the target, Aldershot recover. Jones does right back, track back well, headed it away from outside the box. Swindon have it with Shade here. Shade just forced backwards. Finds Minturn, and Minturn with a little touch away from Tolaj. Looks to attack down the left-hand side. Feeds this into Godwin Malife as well forward. Brushes off the initial challenge of Joan. He has it wide on the left-hand side here, about 15 yards out. Cut back for McEachran. McEachran looks up, tries to cross to Austin. That's blocked. Shade in the middle. Hutton wide right, 15 yards out, forward to aim for with his cross. Just floats it in. Austin's header. It's just wide in a great position.
Good bit of build-up, good spell of possession really for Swindon. Popping passes about, although Aldershot not really getting close, not really putting them under too much pressure. Worked out well outside on the right-hand side to Hutton. A decent ball in, and Charlie's got on the end of it, but just put it over the bar. But it did look like, whereas in the first sort of part of the game, he wasn't really getting anyone in the box there. Now I think we had 3 men in the box there, and the cross just before we had 3 or 4. Blake Tracy was in at the far post, so that's what obviously we need to do: get men forward and get the ball in the box.
For all Swindon's potency in front of goal, getting 3 in an hour is asking a lot here. Aldershot with 2 from Barham and 1 from Stokes, as Manoga has this wide on the right hand side. Can't see an obvious route forward, and he's happy just to work it across pretty much the edge of the penalty area towards the central defender Harfield. Long ball from him. Godwin Malife and McEachran can get it back to the goalkeeper. So this is the big league v non-league story of the day so far. It will be whatever happens here. If Aldershot go on to win, or if in the event that Swindon somehow escape this. Harrogate are 1 up at Marines, about a dozen or so league versus non-league ties. As Khan has this at the back. Stockport are ahead against their non-league opponents. Worksop. Swindon try and attack on the right through Hutton, and that just drifts out of play. I wouldn't say Aldershot are quite sailing through this spell, Phil, but ultimately Swindon have stretched them a bit, but they're not showing profound signs of discomfort from their point of view.
No, and I think it's either, obviously whether it's Swindon, up in their game, or whether it's Aldershot taking their foot off the pedal. I'm not, 100% sure, but either way, Swindon are back in the game a little bit more now. Look like they've got a little bit more bite going forward, although not being entirely convincing, either way. So a little bit like it was, it reached like MK Dons, where they're going forward but doing okay, but not really creating too much.
Hutton linking with Godwin Malife here, plays a good 1-2. Hutton tries to get the cross in early, and Harris is able to control on the edge of the box, get it away, well won by McEachran for Swindon. Godwin Malife's half tackle comes back to McEachran. Austin's just dropped a bit deeper, out to Hutton wide on the right hand side, goes to Godwin Malife. He looks up here, back to Hutton. Aldershot not really doubling up on him. Hutton gets in another cross deep towards the back post area. Jones heads it behind with Blake Tracy in attendance, and Swindon rely a lot on sort of Hutton's crossing as a potent source, and I'm quite surprised that Aldershot aren't closing that down a bit more.
Yeah, they've been putting balls in the box, but they have been dealt with quite well really by Aldershot, and so it's a funny one because Swindon look like they can score pretty soon.
Kemp puts the ball into the box from the corner, which Austin heads towards goal. That's scrambled off the line by Manoga, though I think the goalkeeper might have had it covered. Hutton wide right here, about 25 yards out, pings another ball into the penalty area. Flick clear by Aldershot. Shade will go and recover this by the corner flag, left-hand side. Loads of players inside the box here. Shade just looks up, works it in towards the back post, knocked away by Glover. Blake Tracy will have it. Left footer out wide on the right hand side here, turns, gets away from Glover a little bit, moves across goal here. Glover's done well to sort of slow him down. Blake Tracy's gone all the way from the centre to the middle, then just dinks a clever ball over the top, well read by Aldershot in the end. Harfield's back to deal with it, clears it with a header inside the box, but Swindon are applying a degree of pressure here, though Blake Tracy gives it away. Tolaj tries to come forward, McEachran deals with him. Blake Tracy wins the ball and skips past one challenge. Kemp's available. Kemp on the left side of the penalty area here. Moves from left to right. Just dinks the cross into the back post, where Well, another phantom player in red wasn't waiting, as it were, and Aldershot clear. 3-0, Aldershot lead here.
Yeah, sorry, I mean, Swindon look like they can score soon, but I think what's happening, quite dangerous for Aldershot, really. It feels like they're sitting back quite a lot now, and they're sort of trying to soak up the pressure. Maybe they feel they don't need to go forward because they've got the 3 goals, and that's bringing Swindon on. So I think it's a dangerous kind of tactic, but not a tactic, a mentality that they've kind of got themselves into now. And I think if we can get one before half-time, I think second half, that sets us up, in the situation we're in, that sets us up quite well for the second half, but they do need to get one in this half, Swindon.
Well, Kemp's done well to win the ball in midfield when he was second favourite. Peels away to the left-hand side, about 25 yards out. Scott Hutton on the overlap, fires in a low cross this time, and Harfield can read it and just pump it clear from inside his own penalty area. And Tolaj, the striker, can't hold it up. Swindon trying to keep a high sort of tempo going here, taking the throw in quickly. McEachran finds shade out to Hutton wide on the left-hand side. McEachran tries to run forward. He's in quite a tangle with Stokes off the ball. And Swindon go back to Godwin Malife. Hutton again. Hutton rolls this forward to Shade. Shade looks to drive in towards the penalty area. Kana made a good run inside him. Shade can't pick him out. Aldershot tracking back. Clear up to halfway, but Swindon winning the ball again through Brewitt. Khan just tries to touch this forward. Shade is surely offside when he gets it, and he is, and everyone breathes out. 3-0 Aldershot lead.
Yeah, now Aldershot are struggling to kind of get out their half. Balls going up to the front men, and the centre half, Swindon centre halves are doing quite well to clear the danger, and then Swindon are picking up. The seconds are going back at them again. Saying that, I think the balls into the box have been okay, but we've got no one going in on the front post, and you talk to a lot of forwards and strikers, and they're always taught to get in front of the front post. Someone hit the front post, and we're not really doing that, and that's where all the crosses, really, the dangerous ones seem to be going.
Austin tries to help this forward to Shade on halfway again. Harfield, former Weymouth player, with an interception. Godwin Malife brings it under control. He's fouled by Tolaj, tries to get the free kick forward quickly, and Harfield looked to have that under control and played it straight out. Everyone's a bit jittery at the moment.
I think you'll probably find at Aldershot now that they've got over the kind of the exhilaration of going 3-0 up, now there's sort of the pressure of keeping that lead's going to creep into them, potentially, and with Swindon coming in, and that could be going through their head. We're 3-0 up after 10 minutes, and Swindon get one. Oh God, no! What if we lose this? So we can live in hope that kind of mentality kind of creeps in there, and like I said, if we, the sooner we get a goal, the better, obviously, and we can cement that in there a little bit, But I don't know if I'm clutching at straws a little bit, or.
Well, I think there's a Coke waiting for you at half-time, Phil. If that's good. No, I kind of understand what you mean, in the sense the mentality would shift if it were 3-1 suddenly, but Aldershot trying to be calm here, and Harfield just rolls that down the left-hand side, and Godwin Malife has it. Tolaj has got to him there. That's a short back pass, and Mahoney's just about got there. Barham's half robbed him, and Mahoney can fall on the ball, but the back pass from Godwin Malife into the box just lacked pace, and Mahoney's mighty relieved, I think, to have been able to fall on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's only really be able to fall on it because the other lad got a touch on it first. It's although I'm not really sure why he's not just put his foot through it either.
There's a free kick here because Sadhu Khan was breaking through midfield. He's been caught by Theo Widrington, and that looks like that should be the first yellow card of the game. I have a fair bit of first half stoppage time because we've had a couple of lengthy injury breaks here. Referee has a yellow in hand. He's clearly going to book Widrington here, can't he?
Yeah, definitely a book in there, but that's sometimes what you need to do. Swindon are on the break. It looked like it could be quite dangerous numbers going forward, so he's brought him down, and it's what you need to do sometimes, and he's done that. But then it's a sign that Swindon are getting on top, and now apart from that sort of silly back pass scenario we just had, Aldershot look like they're struggling for ideas now when they get the ball to kind of what to do to get out of their half, or to keep the ball up with the front men.
Well, the questions Mike Flynn afterwards will be lots of sort of changes to the defensive structure in the first 10 minutes, as McEachran has it here. Khan back to Minton on the halfway line. Aldershot leading by 3 early goals to 0. Brewitt for Swindon can tiptoe into Aldershot territory. Picks out Kemp. Kemp starts to run towards the edge of the box here. Feeds it into Shade. Shade's shot takes a deflection off the defender and goes behind for a corner.
Neat little pass in there to Shade, and that's what we want him to do. Is when he's got the opportunity, you know, take a bit of risk, have a shot on the turn, but the defender's done well to get in there to make a tackle. But again, another attempt for Swindon, but I don't think we've tested the goalie yet really, so that's what we need to do.
Here's the corner, bent into the penalty area, headed away by Glover for Aldershot. Parham gets there. Hutton needs to win this and just about win it, otherwise Glover was free to start an Aldershot counter-attack and Swindon get a throw in. And it's back with McEachran. McEachran on halfway. Here's Khan. Khan just trying to get through the middle of a sort of compact midfield area, so Swindon go back in towards McEachran. McEachran starts to break forward. Kemp's made a little run in front of him, and McEachran is just robbed easily by Stokes, and Stokes tries to break forward here. There are runners for him for Aldershot in midfield. It's aimed out towards the man on the left hand side, and that's Frost. Back across towards Tolai. Tolai's cut this to the edge of the box. Stokes has got time to look up and shoot, and he does so. McEachran blocks it, headed down by Aldershot, hooked towards goal by Tolai, and that is wide. And again, it was very easy for Swindon to be opened up and for Aldershot to test them with shots and crosses and anxious moments.
You see the difference, like even with Aldershot, the way they're defending, they're getting shot, they're blocking shots, you know, they're not 3 or 4 yards away, they're 3 or 4 inches away, and they're getting there to stop the shot and make it uncomfortable, and we're not doing that. You know, the ball's come out to their centre forward. I mean, even after the first bit, you know, Minnow couldn't get close to him. He's played the ball in, and Brewitt's the wrong side of the centre forward, and luckily that the pass was just too much in front of him, and he couldn't get on it. And then the ball's come out to someone on the edge of the box, and McEachran, there's no effort to get tight or close to him, and he's almost too worried about giving away a penalty, even though if he would have got tight to him, he would have been 2 yards outside the 18-yard box. So I don't understand the passive defending that Swindon are kind of undertaking at the minute, and it's, you know, even after all the play that Swindon have had, you know, then it just luckily that the pass was just 2 inches too far ahead. Otherwise, they could have been 4 down.
Well, Mike Flynn is making a change here. 5 minutes before half-time, McEachran is coming off, Kinsella is coming on. I don't know whether there's any hint of the injury that McEachran had earlier, or whether that is simply that there has to be some kind of better protection for Swindon in front of the defence. So Kinsella on, but it's a curious time to do it 5 minutes before the break.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether that was, you know, then just the aggressiveness of defending there, or whether it's the, you know, because it was a whack on the head, so, you know, maybe that's what it is. It put him out of sorts a bit, but, you know, you can't say he's been, you know, the worst player on the pitch, because I don't think you could pick between them really, who's not had the best afternoon. But a strange time, like you say, 5 minutes before first half. But at the end of the day, if the manager feels like it needs to be done, there's no time like the present. It's got to get done. So hopefully it works out.
So Aldershot, I'm ready to take this free kick deep inside their own half with Van Stoppersov, his Shade as he picks up the loose ball. Swindon with possession in midfield through Kemp, who now finds Khan. Khan out to the left-hand side where Minturn is. Back to Khan here. He's going to have to return this to Brewitt. And Aldershot just looking to sort of see if they can prey on Swindon here. Khan with the back pass to Mahoney, who has time to find Kinsella. Kinsella just plays this long down the right-hand side, and that will drop to Wiltshire, but it goes out of play. So there's times when Aldershot have been stretched, but they've not really been broken and failed so far after that remarkable start.
Yeah, and they looked like sort of weathering the storm, but it looked like they'd lost ideas about going forward, and all of a sudden they get gifted a couple of opportunities.
Well, there's a loose back pass, and Aldershot are in here, and this is a great chance for 4, and it's gone through Mahoney, and it's hit the inside of the post. The shot from Tolaj and gone behind, and Swindon have just hung on in the FA Cup through an almighty stroke of luck It's hard to see them coming back from 3. There's zero chance of them coming back from 4.
Yeah, I mean, again, sloppiness, a bad pass from Hutton to Brewitt, the two of them getting confused with each other, and then Aldershot are in, and he's on with the keeper, and it's a powerful shot into the near post, and it sort of squirmed in between Mahoney and the near post, and thankfully he's just got enough on it to go hit the far post after it, but he's got very, very lucky there. Hutton's got lucky, Mahoney's got lucky, Swindon have got lucky there.
Aldershot still have a corner. A couple of minutes to go. Here, Aldershot 3-0 up, plus hitting the woodwork. Here's the corner, right into the heart of the 6-yard box. Swindon able to scramble this clear, although it just comes out to Harfield. He's got the option to cross if he wants from the left-hand side. Puts this back calmly in towards Glover. Glover on the left-hand side, not got too much help, goes down there, and then Khan's desperate to just wrestle the ball off him. Khan comes forward, in the end he wins the free kick, so Swindon breathe. But well, it was back to the traditional FA Cup shambles there for a few minutes as Brewitt floats a ball forward. It goes beyond shade, it goes out of play, and it's going to be guessed the decibel count of boos from Swindon at half-time. Do you think it'll be below or above fighter jet level?
I don't think people are very happy, and it's a. Do you know what? Even if we hadn't had that little bit there, those couple of minutes, I think the crowd wouldn't have been too bad. But those last couple of minutes there were as bad as we've seen this afternoon, and even the corner going in there. That no Swindon players getting anywhere near trying to head that, and that's dropped at the sort of far post in the 6-yard box, and prime location for someone to just get their head on it and score, but it's just drifted in there. No one's really got any aggression to go and head it, and I've seen that too often so far this season, but no one really taking charge and right, I'm going to go and head this and clear their lines, and a header actually getting outside of the 18-yard box from a corner.
Well, Brewitt has missed kicked here again, and Stokes has it on the left-hand side. He's got the man inside, and the shot is fired over by Tollage again, and there are 6 minutes of first half injury time for, it feels like, Swindon to dodge and weave their way through before Aldershot land a 4th blow.
Now nervous again from Brewitt there, and sort of, don't know if he's trying too much or to be too clever or what, but just sort of come off the end of his toe and sort of put the Aldershot player in. He took the shot too early there, to be fair. A tight angle and tried too hard. A bad opportunity there, really. Could have taken a bit more time, but luckily he went early and skied it.
Aldershot clear from Harris. Kinsella tries to win the ball in midfield and then catches Stokes, who goes down flamboyantly, but he certainly did get caught. And so that'll be a free kick, just a warning for Kinsella. Well, the idea was that Kinsella might sort of add another line of defence in front of the back 3 for Swindon. Can't say that happened.
No, no. And I've seen a bit of a pattern as well with Swindon, where they kind of doing all right for 20 minutes in the game, but for the rest of it, really, really quite unconvincing in the last sort of few times I've seen Swindon, and seems to be the story so far today. They really need to come out in the second half, all guns blazing, really, to make this up.
Godwin Malife out to Shade, wide on the right-hand side, back towards Godwin Malife here, who goes on one of his typical sort of runs in midfield. Aldershot have got 4 men round him, but he just finds Kemp. Kemp's about 35 yards out. Good ball through the middle here, and while there was a challenge on Shade there by Minoga, Shade is convinced it was a penalty. Referee looked at it and was absolutely convinced it wasn't, and I think my instincts side a little bit more with the referee.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's got in front of him. He's in front of Shade there, so he's not come through the back of him. Shade's the other side of him, so I think if he did get any contact, it's Shade coming towards him. So yeah, no, I think you're going to be very, very unlucky as an Aldershot defender for that to be given against you.
So Minoga survives that little moment. We're in 2 of 6 minutes first half additional time. A133 for your text, but Wilts in front of those. Twitter is at BBC Wilt Sport as well. Kemp for Swindon, trying to find Shade here. Carter made a great run through the middle for him. Shade can't win it. Aldershot with a chance to break Barham. That's cleverly flicked forward by Frost. Tolai is onside here. Left side of the penalty area shoots, and Aldershot have 4 before half-time. And Swindon are being humiliated by a ruthless display from the non-league team here. They are heading out of the FA Cup, and they are being body slammed out of the FA Cup. Swindon 0, Aldershot 4.
It's like I said, that they had their 20 minutes and they've gone back to the way they were playing in the first 20 minutes. You know, Shade up front so easily, just shoved off the ball. Too weak from him, and he's lost possession. Then a pass into the front man. Now this is what I'm going on about passiveness. The geezer's slipped over, then he's had time to get up, turn around and get the ball that was played behind him, with no Swindon player anywhere near him or putting any pressure on him. He's then been able to pass about a play a ball over the top, and the geezer's just simple run, come off Brewitt. Brewitt has no idea where he is, trying to think that he's offside. He is not offside. He's being kept on by Brewitt or by Minton, and he's taken a touch out wide, and it's a decent finish into the far post, but no one anywhere near him. Take as much time as he likes. Bad defending from the front to the back.
And for Aldershot, one of their finest days since they dropped out of the Football League more than 30 years ago. Got back in for a while under Gary Waddock, of course, but well, they've scored 4 times. They've been pretty clinical, but they've still had other chances where Frost shot early on. Tollage hit the post. Here's Minter wide on the left-hand side towards Khan and Blake Tracy, and so Swindon's 21st century FA Cup record, as Khan is fouled, is littered with defeats to Histon and Woking and Macclesfield twice when they were a non-league side. But this is, even by the elevated standards of that lot, quite the nadir, as Kemp breaks forward into the Aldershot penalty area, and he's tackled well by Harfield, and the visitors clear through Glover and back to Godwin Malifa. Oh, what a way for Mike Flynn to celebrate signing a new contract, as Blake Tracy looks as if he's caught there by Jones, and Swindon in a free kick. And Aldershot's Tommy Widrington has signed an extension to his deal this week as well, and that's come a bit better. Blake Tracy's throw in, their ball quickly won by Minoga. He's fouled by Shade, and well, this is a test of my thesaurus, Phil, today.
Well, I mean, what do we have? We had 20 minutes where it looked like Swindon could have got a goal, and if they got that goal, then you sort of think the way that we are going forward, that we got a chance. And then they've just gone well off it. They hadn't really had to do anything, and they gave Aldershot half a chance, and then the game turned again, and now it looks like Aldershot could go maybe 5 or 6. And it's going to be damage limitation, but thankfully they got
well, Brewitt is not the best with his clearance inside the penalty box there, and Khan helps him out before Barham, who will fancy his chance of a hat-trick, was looking for it along with Stokes. Here's Minoga trying to come forward. He's kept the ball initially, and Kinsella just smacks that out of play in anger. The 6 minutes of stoppage time are up. The Swindon players will look to see if there are any earmuffs around for the volley of boos and abuse they're going to get. The Aldershot fans will cheer their players off as if they've just sacked Rome. 4-0, they lead towards the very, very latter stages of this first half. Flynn's enjoyed all the benefits of the FA Cup, and now he's going to have to field questions about the debit side. Khan tries to come forward, and he's hassled out of play. The referee looks at his watch. He decides the entertainment shall go on no further. You hear the howls of anger, then you hear the joy away to the left, because half-time here, Aldershot lead 4-0, and they were one lucky moment where the ball bounced off the inside of the post from making it 5. Jack Barham scored twice quickly on. The first swept home after 30 seconds. The second, when the ball was played over the top, Mahoney came out, and Barham very cleverly got there first and lobbed him. 3-0, elegant move involving Frost, Barham and Stokes, and that was barely with 10 minutes gone. Swindon looked a bit more lively after that for about 15 or 20 minutes. They had also shot stretched a little bit, but they never really had that potent killer chance. And Aldershot, after hitting the post through Tolaj, got the fourth when he was played in with ease down the left side of the box and beat Mahoney. And like I say, from Aldershot's point of view, it is like heaven has descended upon them. From Swindon's point of view, it's the long road over the River Styx to some unpleasant encounters with some Egyptian gods. My metaphors are getting far too stretched. They've been flipping awful. That's what I need to say. Swindon 0, Aldershot 4.
Well, yeah, there isn't really a lot more to say than that. You know, it's not even like Aldershot have had to really work for their 4-0 lead, which is ridiculous to say, and really unlucky not to be 5 up. You know, just through bad defending from Swindon. You know, going forward, Swindon have been okay at best. You know, they haven't tested the goalkeeper. I don't know, I'm pretty sure they haven't got a shot on target, especially not with any venom anyway, where the goalkeeper's had to work. Once, I think it was offside, but, you know, a bad start, you can kind of, not excuse, but you can say, right, maybe got a chance to get over it. And they had their 20 minutes of joy, but again, not testing the goalkeeper, and then just fell apart again in the last, 15 minutes of the half, giving Aldershot opportunities. And like I say, Aldershot must be buzzing because they've not had to work hard. They've not had to sort of really, graft it to keep Swindon out, and they're 4-0 up. I mean, listen, he's going to have some stern words in there at half-time, I'm sure, and we're all going to be looking for a reaction in the second half. Whether it'll be enough to kind of get the fans back on side, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I think Aldershot fans can already eye up what Sunday's second round draw will have for them. For Swindon, this is a matter of preserving dignity rather than qualification. They trail 4-0 to the National League side at half-time.
Andrew Hawes passing the thesaurus test alongside Phil Smith at the back of the Arcos John Trollope stand. I can tell you down here by the touchline, Michael Finn, it won't surprise you to know, was first down the tunnel, because whatever else is going on in the world of football, this is where the story is right now, unless there is one hell of a comeback, and there's not much hope of that based on what we've seen. Swindon Town 0, Aldershot 4. Phil, I was lucky enough as Andrew was following the ball around, going to the net 3 times in the first 9 minutes. I think Swindon did start with a 3-5-2, but we talked about Godwin Malife's versatility. He was the right wing back, who I don't actually think touched the ball in the first 9 minutes. It was Minturn, it was Brewer, it was Blake Tracy and Hutton as the left wing back. And then after the third goal went in, they shuffled them around. Hutton to the right, Godwin Malife inside, Brewer in the centre, Minturn, then Blake Tracy wide left. But collectively, the defending's been awful.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I don't think moving them around is what changed it. I think it's just that Aldershot thought, right, we'll have a little breather, and Swindon got sort of back into it. The sort of forward players got on the ball a little bit more. So I don't think the switching around really made any difference, because what we've seen in the latter part of the second half, the defending's just not been there. It's been too passive, too weak, basically. No one really sort of grabbing anybody and getting hold of anyone from Aldershot. I've not seen a challenge from any of the defenders, really. And you're right. I think Godwin Malife started more like a right winger. He was more like, when they were sort of starting, it was 4 people up front and he was on the right hand side. So just a dreadful kind of start, and defending just not been good enough today.
And this isn't a point about squad depth right now, because there are 9 subs in the FA Cup, but Kinsella's already on. You've got Ward, Clayton, Genesini and 5 kids.
Well, that's you say about squad depth, but the manager's got no options now. I think it's unfair to kind of put lads on in this situation. In my view, you kind of got to let them get out there. Just keep the team, get them out there, let them learn, or let them do something right. Putting kids on and asking them to change this around, it's tough for them, and not really a great environment. You want your pros to stand up, earn the money, go out and try and do something about it. You're not, maybe not expected to get through the tie out 4-0 down, but you're damn sure you want them to go out there and show a bit of fight.
Phil Smith and Andrew Hawes with the second half live and exclusive on BBC Radio Wiltshire and on the BBC Sounds app. Since the turn of the millennium, it's been pretty grim reading. I'm not going to go through all the clubs now, but it looks like Aldershot will be added to the roll call of teams that have knocked Swindon out of the FA Cup. As it stands, the other stats at half-time, 50-50 on possession here. There were apparently 2 shots on target for the town amongst 5 in total. 6 shots on target, 8 shots, 3 goals at the other end for Aldershot. 3-1 up on the corners, but one of those was shocking. And 4-4 on the fouls. Half-time, Swindon Town are 4-0 down. Let me take you through the other scores for the record. Barrow have beaten Northampton 3-1. In the early kick-off, it's AFC Walden 2, Cheltenham 0, Alfreton 0-0 with Worthing, Bolton 1, Solihull Moors 0, Bradford 0, Wycombe 2, Bristol Rovers 4-1 up against Whitby, Cambridge 1-0 up against Bracknell, Chesham 0, Maidstone 1, Chester 0, York 0, Curzon Ashton 0, Barnet 1, Doncaster 1, Accrington 0. I don't think any of these have upset written on them at the moment. Eastleigh 3, Boreham Wood 1, Exeter 0, Wigan 0, Hereford 0, Gillingham 1, Leyton Orient 1-0 up on Carlisle, Lincoln Morecambe 1-1, Marine 1, Harrogate 2, Newport 1-0 up on Oldham, Notts County 1 all with Crawley, Oxford 1, Maidenhead 0, Peterborough 0, Salford 1, Port Vale Burton 0-0, Ramsgate 1, Woking 1, Reading 1, MK Dons 1, Scarborough 1-0 up on Forest Green. That's against the form book. Or the football pyramid. Shrewsbury 1, Colchester 1, Stevenage 1, Tranmere 1, Stockport 2, Worksop 1. Stockport, of course, here next Saturday as League 2 leaders. Sutton 0, Fylde 1, Yeovil 2, Gateshead 0. Later today, Bromley versus Blackpool, Mansfield versus Wrexham. This one wasn't picked for wider TV audience because of the fact that Swindon Town were at home. I think that's one of the factors they take into account. But having said that, they are 4-0 down to Aldershot at half-time. Let me move on to see what's happening in the Premier League. Earlier, Manchester United, they beat Fulham by 1-0, scored by Bruno Fernandes at Craven Cottage. Man City on course for the top of the table, 3-0 up on Bournemouth. Doku, Silva and Akanji on target there. Mikolenko scored for Everton, they lead Brighton by 1-0. It's Brentford 1, West Ham 2, more pace scoring for the Bees, Kudos and Bowen in reply. Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 1, Jeffrey Shook with the goal at Turf Moor. And the one other game in the Premier League is goalless. That is Sheffield United versus Wolves at Bramall Lane. The local non-league action at half-time, Chippenham are 1-1 with Eastbourne at Hyde Newish Park in National South. In the Southern Premier, Super Arena 2-1 down at Basingstoke. And late kick-off, Harrowborough versus Salisbury. Division 1 South half-times. Bemerton Heath Harlequins 0, Wimborne 0. That's a top-of-the-table match. Tavistock versus Melksham match postponed. And Westbury 2, Poulton Rovers 2. Those are the half-time scores from the football today. And a quick word on the cricket, because England in the World Cup are playing Australia, probably mathematically out of the tournament by the end of today. England sliding towards defeat. They won the toss, Josh Butler. He put the Aussies in. They reached 286 all out. England 186 for 6. So another 101 runs needed from 11 over. So what's that? More than 9 and over. And only 4 wickets remain. Ben Stokes hit 64 of 90. That is a rare high spot. I don't think we've had any even rare high spots here. Swindon Town off 4-0 down to Aldershot. FA Cup first round, half-time. And the players are already back out.
Saturday night is the time to showcase your talent on the BBC.
Thank you so much.
From 6, BBC Upload brings you the best in new comedy, poetry and spoken word.
Upload is a great way to reach a new audience with my spoken word poetry.
From 8, BBC Introducing.
I want to thank you for the support, playing my tracks on the radio.
Supporting and championing new music made right here.
Thank you so much. Honestly, that means so much to all of us.
BBC Upload and BBC Introducing.
Just a few clicks and then the next thing you're getting played on air.
Saturday night from 6 or anytime on BBC Sounds.
BBC Radio Wiltshire.
That's to look forward to. Strictly on the telly. Match of the day, it's in the FA Cup. Swindon Town might be first on. 4-0 down at home to Aldershot. First ever FA Cup meeting between the two teams. And as I said, the Swindon Town players are already back out for the second half in their all-red strip. And we've got Jonah and Steve, the kit men, taking their place in the stand. No sign yet of Michael Flynn and Wayne Hatswell. They might be in the dressing room in the corridors of power here at the county ground. As I say, I think Swindon Town has been sent back out early. So we have time to talk about ice hockey, as we traditionally do during half-time in the football. Swindon Wildcats against Solway tonight and tomorrow. That sport, of course, still reeling from the death last weekend of the Nottingham Panthers' Adam Johnson after a skate caused the injury. It led to UK Ice Hockey issuing immediate and ongoing safety measures to stop any future tragedies in the sport. Sunday's match is also postponed, including the Swindon Wildcats, for whom player coach Aaron Nell's been talking to BBC Radio Wiltshire's Marie Inge about the incident.
Just an awful tragedy for obviously the lad it happened to, for his friends, family, the players that were playing in the game, and everyone was at the rink. Feel for the coaches that brought the player here. It was awful. Words don't really describe it.
Yeah, when news sort of filtered through that there'd been an incident, I mean, I'd say it's a tight-knit community. It really, really is, isn't it? You know, how quickly was that getting to you guys at the Wildcats?
We knew as much as anyone else. We were actually staying away for the weekend in the hotel, and so we were all together. And I know there was videos gone out that I've refused to watch. I think a few of the players saw the video, but you don't know how bad it was until we found out the news the next morning. So very, very sad.
Now, one of the things I mentioned there in the introduction is the measures that are being brought in and neck guards. I mean, how widely used are they right now?
They weren't. I think you had to use them till you were maybe they changed the rule to under 21s had to use them last year, but no one over 21 just wouldn't use them. It's not something you obviously expect to happen, and I think it's a good move by the English Ice Hockey Association to go forward with this.
So just describe to me what they are in terms of how they fit, because you wear a lot of kit. There is a lot that you have to go onto the ice with.
Yes, there's different ones. We've ordered some for our team that are connected to our undergear, and they're arriving any day now. And it's just to protect us, and if that freak accident happens again.
So I mentioned there that Sunday's game was cancelled, but will you roll on? Does the schedule continue as normal now? When are you next back on the ice?
We next play in Scotland at the weekend. As far as I know, the games are going ahead. I know there's a game going ahead tonight. I think in the Elite League, all the teams but the two teams that were involved with the incident are playing this weekend. So there'll be lots of tributes made towards Adam, and I feel I just can't stop thinking about the whole incident and certainly the players that were on the ice and the people that were in the building. It was awful.
Aaron, it's Ben here. One of the things that struck me pretty quickly that the Nottingham club came out, didn't it, and sort of supported the opposition player who was involved in the incident, because they were getting such a lot of abuse and there were people questioning whether it was a freak accident, and it just shone through that close ice hockey community. And I've seen some really interesting analysis about all the different ways people skate and the way the pressure's put on different sides of your body and all the different eventualities that can turn out. It's been a bit of a learning experience for a lot of people maybe who don't know the intricacies of the sport.
Yeah, it was, like I said, I haven't seen it. I know someone very close to me was at the game who I've spoke to. It was a complete freak. Anyone that I think there's other motivations to say that it was the person did it on purpose, there's no chance he did that. It was a complete freak accident. I feel awful for him, it's not nice.
And listen, Aaron, finally, it's been a challenging start to the season for you guys. No.
He was talking to BBC Radio Wiltshire's Ben Prater on the Breakfast Show this week. One other quick rugby half-time for you. Bath at Northampton, 24-15 down in the Premiership. Right, half-time here at the county ground. Swindon Town 4-0 down to Aldershot. To quote Andrew from the first half, Tommy Woodard taking the role of Cesar Menotti here with the Argentine representation in the 1978 World Cup. Swindon Town haven't changed their personnel, but the players have been out for well over 5 minutes, probably nearly 10, ahead of the second half.
Yep.
Phil Smith and Andrew Hawes at the back of the Arkle's John Trollope stand.
Yep, they're there to get cold and be in front of the public. 6,372 here, 1,278 from Aldershot, I could hear at half-time, having a grand old time as well. They might, as well they deserve to. So Swindon have kicked off here. They're playing from left to right in the all-red, in Argentina, like I say, in the Argentina, Aldershot in the white and light blue stripes with the black shorts here. Swindon look to attack, but Godwin Malife gives the ball away, and ball's aimed up towards the striker Tolaj, who got the fourth goal, and Brewitt's back pass is not the best, and Mahoney has to come and clear it out, and nothing has changed since the opening 45 minutes. Swindon with Mahoney in goal. They juggled their defence to end up with Godwin Malife, Brewitt and Minturn as the back three, Hutton and Blake Tracy the wing backs, now Kinsella, Khan and Kemp in midfield, Austin and Shade are the two strikers. We'll come to the Aldershot side when we get a break in play here. It's with Harfield on the left-hand side, two defenders round him to stop him crossing it in. The Aldershot defender, that's a little bit short, aimed towards Glover. Hutton wins it. Hutton tries to counter-attack here. Hutton just ducks past Harris without too much trouble. If he can cross in early, Austin is waiting, but it never reaches him. It's easy for Van Stoppershoff to come and claim. So Aldershot have the big Dutchman in goal, Hashim Minogue, Kian Harris and Ollie Harfield the back three, Aaron Jones and Ryan Glover the wing backs, Theo Widrington, Tyler Frost and Josh Stokes in midfield, Laurent Tolaj and Jack Barham up front. Barham's got the ball here, just outside the penalty area, left hand side, plays it in the box in towards Stokes, looks like a foul by Minturn. It's going to be a penalty. That's less than 2 minutes into the start of the second half. Minturn looks dismayed. Now will Barham take it because he fancies the hat-trick? We'll see. Widrington looks like he's grabbed it, but 4-0 Aldershot lead. Spot kick to come.
Whoa, what a start.
Sorry, Phil Smith is your summariser.
Jesus, if you've not learnt from the first half, maybe you've learnt now after the first 2 minutes of the second. You know, Brewitt's turned like the Titanic, you know, for the ball over the top there, and then run into the middle of the goal, and then realise, hang on a minute, the geezer's on his own out wide, and gone out to him. Geezer's got loads of time, acres of space, come outside, a neat little ball in behind, and then Minno's just got sort of the wrong side of him, trying to make a challenge, and yeah, you can't say it's not a penalty. I think unfortunately it is.
And it is the former Swindon player Kian Harris, who's been on penalty duties for Aldershot this season, who can mark his return to the county ground if he wants, with a goal here. 4-0 Aldershot lead, and Harris, whose spell here was brief and unhappy, comes up, steps up and rolls the ball down the middle, and it is Swindon Town 0, Aldershot 5 here in the FA Cup first round, and in the 21st century of Swindon FA Cup disasters, this is breaking new ground in style.
Yeah, cool as you like that penalty. I did fancy Mahoney to make a save, I think, and I'm sort of saying to myself, if he makes a save here, then I fancy us to get back in the game or get a couple of goals at least. But cool as you like, he's just stepped up, calm little run up and just slotted it down the middle. Mahoney committed to his left hand side and just slotted it down the middle. And yeah, Aldershot 5-0 up, and you can't say they're not good for the 5 if you're brutally honest.
Well, in 1983, Aldershot came here in an FA Cup tie. They lost 7-0. It feels like they're 3/4 of the way to avenging that scoreline, and at the moment you wouldn't be surprised.
No, and it has been a sloppy start from Swindon. You think the manager sending them out, they've obviously got the hairdryer treatment. He sent them out early. You're expecting a reaction, and you know the first thing they're doing is they're clearing up a sloppy mistake from Brewitt with a pass back and conceding from a penalty. Almost as bad start as the first half.
So Swindon have the ball here. Khan looks round and says, where's the help? Hutton, and back to Godwin Malife. A great celebration from Harris, but he enjoyed the moment, and as well he is entitled to, because never really recovered from a big hamstring tear fairly early on into his Swindon career. So Godwin Malife takes a throw here. Kinsella shows up for it midway inside the Aldershot half now. Hutton crosses in from the left-hand side, and literally Van Stoppershoff can stand there casually and pluck the ball out of the air at head height. 5-0 Aldershot lead.
Yeah, no one really making an attempt to kind of get on the end of it there. It's almost, tough. No one really around him, no pressure on Hutton. A floated ball in, with a goalkeeper that big, and you've seen him come out already to take crosses, easy for him, and then, other centre forwards just not really bothering to go in and put a challenge.
Aldershot to flick this through the middle. Tollage is in here, hits a shot, it's in 6-0. It's a superb volley from Tollage at the end of the area, and the 7 is absolutely on here. Aldershot has started the second half with the efficiency they did in the first. That's probably the pick of the goals, but there's so many to choose from. Swindon 0, Aldershot 6.
I mean, it was a fantastic finish, but yet again, the defending between the two of them there. Minno's a young lad and he's got to learn his trade, but, Brewitt's not really aggressive enough there and getting in, and he's got in between the two of them and not trying to get to the ball, and it's bouncing and it's just popped up nice for him, and no one's put in a challenge, but, it was a fantastic finish into the far post. Just the ball into him up there, not dealt with, 2 or 3 times opportunities to deal with the ball and not taken, and now 6-0 down. Well, it is as bad as the first half.
Arguably it's worse, which is failing to clamber over a very low bar. But what can we say for Aldershot? They've punished the Swindon mistakes, and that goal from Tollage was a spectacular shot, half volley, edge of the area, beat Mahoney. Swindon are going to make another change. They're going to make 2 changes here. Harry Gray, one of the youngsters from the academy, is going to come on alongside Tom Clayton. So Minturn, who conceded the penalty, has been removed there, and the other change is Tyrese Shade coming off. So are they? Those almost feel like I don't know, substitutions of shame, possibly, if you see what I mean.
You can't say that they're the worst players, or if it's a performance thing, is maybe trying to change tactics, but I think that's too late because of 6. I don't really. Maybe he's doing it because he feels like he's got to do something, make a change somewhere. I don't think Minnow gave the penalty away, but I think the other defenders have got a lot to answer to.
Well, Clayton's almost caught inside the penalty area there, just gets away from bar and pokes it out, manages to win Swindon a throw.
Just looking at that, and Mahoney, listen, he's been great this season, Mahoney, but too often in this game has been kind of caught on short passes, back passes, his passes to him, clearances have been dreadful, but still going on with that, and a bad pass out to Clayton there, who's just come on, if I'm in there, I'm just getting rid of it. I'm getting as far away from my goal as possible because I don't want any more going in. I don't want any going in any time. But at 6-0, mucking about with it on the edge of the box, I don't really understand. But there you go.
Well, here's Hutton for Swindon, trying to break down the left-hand side here. Looks to get across into the box. Swindon have won a corner. And I think there's probably ironic cheers more from the Aldershot end than the Swindon end here. But, well, the minimum requirement for Swindon was to try and preserve dignity in the second half, even if they accepted the tie was beyond them, and they failed to do that.
Yeah, they have, and this is the point about squad depth. He can't really bring changes in.
Corner comes into the box. Blake Tracy looks for it, won't quite drop for Clayton inside the penalty area. Aldershot just have a huge number of players back, and Harry is happy to hack the ball into touch. I suspect Aldershot will be furious if they conceded at this point.
Yeah, well, you can't see it at the minute anyway, but like I was saying, with the squad depth as it is, and you're going to lose a couple of players now international. If he's thought things aren't quite right over the last few weeks, because the results haven't been great over the last few weeks, since Notts County, it's not been great, and what changes can he make? Who can he you've got to have a threat of losing your place if you don't perform, or become comfortable in your position, and he hasn't got that, and I think that I'm not saying that is the reason for today's performance, but it is certainly a contribution to it, because if he thought it was poor against MK Dons or there was any problems, which he said that it has, he's not really been able to make any real changes about it, or any meaningful changes, maybe one, but that's not really enough if you've been on a bad run to kind of turn it around. And I think we're kind of seeing a bit of evidence of the squad maybe potentially being a bigger issue.
Khan's looking up here, forward towards Kemp. Kemp tries to break towards the box, looks for Hutton, cuts inside the initial challenge from Glover, floats across into the penalty area, doesn't reach Austin. It's found the youngster Harry Gray at the back post, appeals for handball as that comes off the defender and behind for a Swindon corner.
To be fair, I thought that could have been given as handball. I mean, I'm a long way away, whether it caught him in the chest or the arm, I don't know, but a bit better, a bit of aggression from Swindon, a couple of balls in the box, not being really able to get on the end of it, and balls out wide. And he's had a bit of time there to try and get across in. It's just hit the arm.
Corner into the penalty area. Austin gets contact on it but heads it wide. Swindon 0, Aldershot 6 is the latest score here with 35 minutes to go.
Sorry, I was looking down trying to see the name of the player that came on, but where the corner came in. But yeah, need to see a bit more. Obviously we need to see a bit more. I don't know really what else I can say, but I didn't, like you said, I didn't think it could be as bad as the first half was, but the first 10 minutes have been pretty poor.
I think you may be heading towards the diplomatic corps with pretty cool. Here's Kemp trying to come forward for Swindon. Heavy touch from him. He's tackled well by Glover. If Glover can play the right ball forward, Barham's in here. Although Godwin Malife got back really well at the last gasp, to be fair to him, and he helped Swindon try and counter. Hutton's midway inside the Aldershot half here. Plays this to Khan. Khan tries to break forward towards the box. Finds Kemp. Kemp's got Blake Tracy available here. Blake Tracy cuts into the penalty area. Looks, floats in across. Just bounces beyond Austin at the back post on the edge of the 6-yard box. It was a good ball in, but wanted to beat Austin. There was no other red-shirted player to attack.
No, it just looked like the belief wasn't it? It was over Austin, like I say, nobody else there. Hutton wasn't coming in on the far post. I think we got lucky again there, not to concede. With Godwin Malife, he's on the wrong side of the centre forward, and he's on the inside of him. If he plays a better ball in, I mean, apart from maybe his pace getting him back into the game, it's opened up for him there. But there's a bit of a reaction up front from Swindon trying to get something, but it's still not enough, and the quality's not really there.
No, it's from Swindon's point of view now, for the fans that have stayed, and there are considerably less number. It's a weird sort of macabre spectacle. As for Aldershot, it's great fun, and they're attacking again here. Glover, the left wing back's gone inside the penalty area, flicks it across goal, and there is number 7, and 1983 has been avenged by Aldershot perfectly when they lost 7-0 here in the FA Cup. A simple header in from the edge of the 6-yard box, and it is surely for Swindon the worst day in their FA Cup history and the finest hour for Aldershot as a non-league side. The most crushing humiliation that Swindon could possibly conceive of. Jack Barham with a deserved hat-trick. Swindon 0, Aldershot 7, 33 minutes to go.
A simple ball down the left-hand side. You sort of, Godwin Malife maybe could get back, but he's sort of been done by the ball. He's taken it into the 18-yard box, so he can't make a challenge. He's worried about giving away a penalty. And to be fair to him, it's a decent delivery into the box. But you've got Brewitt and you've got Clayton in there, and both of them are nowhere near the centre forward. So he's ended up probably being about 4 yards out, and just putting it into the middle of the goal. Again, I can't really say it was a well-worked goal or they've done anything spectacular to kind of get in that position. It just seemed too easy. You're not really tight. Godwin Malife to stop the cross, and a free header 4 yards out in the middle of the goal, and you sort of think, well, that can't happen, but it has again. And I think we just need to kind of get through this game without anyone getting sent off, without anyone getting injured, and you just have to kind of hope that we, for the next game, that we're not sort of struggling for numbers again. Is that a positive spin to kind of? Can we look at that?
There's no. Well, Kemp is getting involved here with Harfield and conceding a free kick. There's nothing else for Swindon to do than to just try and fast forward their way through the next 30 minutes without conceding anymore. But
so on my point at half time, so you bring this young lad on, Harry Gray. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how old he is, but you bring him on now with the way that it is, the way that the supporters are.
Here's Kinsella in towards Hutton here. Hutton tries to flick the cross into the 6-yard box, and it's not behind, and it's a corner.
That's not a change that you kind of. They're 5-0 or 6-0 down when he come, or 5-0 down when he come on. And now, the supporters are obviously unhappy. It's not an introduction you want to bring a young lad into. You know what I mean? And what else can he do? He can't make any changes to kind of change the game in effect. So, apart from getting the first 11 right and getting them spot on, there isn't anything he can do to change it or to get him going. I mean, he's not going to make changes after 10 minutes, granted, but he's struggling for anything to do, really. And I think it's unfair to bring the young lads on in a game like this, especially, with a crowd. The away players getting a standing ovation from the home crowd.
Yeah, no, there's generous applause for Boren from all sides of the ground here. Having completed his hat-trick, he can relax, and Kwame Thomas can come on, the former Derby Coventry striker and others. So Swindon have got a corner, and Van Stoppershoff, has he just helped that on the way? Although I think this might be retaken for some reason. So if you're joining us just after an hour, Aldershot are 7-0 up.
It's quite unbelievable, really, isn't it, when you think about it? And I don't really have a lot I don't know what else I can kind of say. They're just not really done anything.
Corner into the penalty area, won't reach Austin or Blake Tracy. I'm trying to think when Swindon last conceded 7. I think that's a fairly infamous occasion at Bolton. Mind you, Aldershot could be on for more here because they've broken away from the corner. Glover through the middle, Godwin Malife will get there, and Tollage can't run onto it. Half an hour to go. Aldershot look potent every time they can grab the ball. Swindon are just the most frightened creatures you can imagine when they have to do anything called defending. Mahoney's trying to pass out from the back towards Kinsella, and that goes out of play. Yep, you've got Kittens who look more comfortable with a ball of wool than the Swindon backline with a ball.
But it started with Khan. He's got no one around him, and he's passed it a real bad pass to I think it's Godwin Malife, and it's just ruined it. And then he's had to go back to Mahoney, and again he's trying to take on.
This has come to Tollage. I was expecting to shoot on the edge of the box there. He would have done, but for a late challenge from Kinsella. As Austin tries to win the ball back on the halfway line. Godwin Malife out towards Kemp here. Hutton wants this played forward. Kemp cuts towards the edge of the box and just dribbles into nowhere. And Widrington gets it, and Aldershot will look to release Thomas with a long ball forward, but Clayton can tidy that up, and on we go.
Yeah, it's just sloppy all round now, and I mean, 7-0 down. What are you expecting? Even then,
Swindon have just given the ball again away from playing out the back. Tollage is breaking towards the edge of the penalty area. He's brought down just outside the box by Khan. So Aldershot can have a shot on goal from the free kick and see if they can find an 8th goal here.
Yeah, I'm a bit. I mean, Mahoney, like I said, he's been fantastic this season. With his feet, he's been pretty good. But I don't know what today. He just seems, obviously the scoreline and the way that the game's gone. He looks a little bit shaken with it, maybe. But again, he keeps trying this too hard to play out from the back, and he's giving it away 2 or 3 times now. Bad positions, or bad passes, or bad decisions to keep it, trying to take it past the centre forward. I'm not really sure what's going on there with him and what he's doing there. But now we've ended up with a bad ball out to Clayton, and it's come into the middle, and we've given away a free kick in a dangerous position.
Tollage is interested in this. He's certainly one option. He looks the most likely with the left foot at the moment. Although Aaron Jones could hit this with the right. It is Tollage. He's shown mercy on Swindon because he's curled it over the bar. Swindon 0, Aldershot 7 out. Forgive me for going on a slight indulgence if any Aldershot fans we have listening on BBC Sounds, but I talking about that 7-0 FA Cup game a long time ago. I I was sort of covering mainly Brighton, but a little bit of Aldershot for BBC Southern Counties, as it was then when around the sort of era where Gary Waddock was getting Aldershot into the Football League, and would speak to Ian MacDonald fairly regularly. Was a long-serving shots player. He still remembered that 7-0 when I spoke to him about it with my sort of more Swindon's hat on. He was still a memory of pain.
He was my first youth team manager, Ian MacDonald.
Lovely man as well. If he's listening, long-serving player for Aldershot in their Football League days. I think he was there at the end, or the first version. Here's Kemp crossing into the back post for Swindon, and Van Stoppershop is there. So nostalgia time for me over. Back to the present, where Aldershot lead 7-0. I'm glad we got a mention for Ian MacDonald. I feel better about that.
Yeah, he was my first at Millwall. He was my first youth team manager. Yeah, and you're right, a nice man. And I bumped into him a few times when I was playing for Aldershot, so it was nice to see him then. But sorry, back to the game. A ball in the box there from Swindon, but again, Swindon players at the far post. You know, if you've got someone running across the defenders and going towards the front post, you might get a header on that and have a decent chance, but nobody willing to take that chance.
Well, it's kind of transformed really from Swindon's perspective from merely embarrassing to surreal. As Aldershot just put a routine ball down the right-hand side there. Stokes chases after it. Clayton is able to head it out and just avoid a corner. It is a throw-in for Aldershot down on the far side. 25 minutes to go.
Yeah, they've gone, you know, passing's not there, you know, even if they're trying to sort of rattle a few, that's not there. You know, simple passes are going everywhere. Just, it's not great. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a nice place to be when you're 7-0 down at home, especially in an FA Cup game.
But this honestly, Phil, feels like it could be 10. Yeah. The way things are going, the way that Swindon's brains are just so scrambled by what's happened as Aldershot lift the ball into the box, and there's a flicked header, and that won't count. So number 8 must be delayed. The offside flag has gone up there, and well, sure. Stokes who put it in looks absolutely mortified that doesn't count.
I'm not sure, but then again, I'm going to take it. But yeah, you're right, and he's just sort of, as you're saying it, then there's an example of it. You know, it could quite easily be more. You know, you're getting into double figures, which would be ridiculous, but Swindon just don't look like they've got anything to get into it. They look like, you know, they look like a boxing match in the 10th round, and the guy's been absolutely pummeled, and he's just standing there for target practice, and that's basically what it looks like. No one really getting anyone about, no one, like saying in the first half, grabbing anyone saying, listen, we need to do this, we need to do that, or pulling anyone aside. Everyone looks like they're in it for themselves at the minute, which is a bad thing to say, but I'm not really seeing any togetherness with them at all, or anything. It's just each to their own at the minute.
No, well, that's what I've kind of talked about, trying to build togetherness. Aldershot on a free kick here, about 35 yards out. That's just dinked into the box. Blake Tracy wins the initial header. Kemp comes and is able to clear up. Then Austin has gone forward early to try and chase. That'll be offside if it ever reaches him, but it'll come through to Van Stappershoff, who can feel the slight culture shock of having to do something. The Aldershot goalkeeper, and he just clears that quite confidently, and there's a free kick there by Stokes. And oh my God, my phone is curiously lit up, and the message I just keep repeating is, what is going on?
Yeah.
That's the short answer. So in the nil Aldershot 7.
Yeah, again, just even then, defending there, and the ball bounced around on the edge of the box, and Swindon more occupied with trying to hold their man other than just clearing the ball, and you know, bouncing off knees and a bit scrappy. You know, I don't understand it. The ball's there to be won, the ball's there to be dealt with, deal with it, you know, but not taking that chance. I mean, it's like I said, it's a difficult mentality when you're 7-0 down, what you're going to do, but they're not doing enough whatever it is.
Well, here's Austin in possession as Swindon look to attack wide on the left-hand side here. Blake Tracy tries to come forward, and he's dispossessed, and Minoga's trying to help Aldershot forward on the counter. Minoga sprints forward, clips the ball down the right-hand side, and that will go out of play. The Aldershot fans are quiet now. They've not scored for about 10 minutes.
I think they're knackered, because I went down at half-time for into the concourse, and it was they're right by the away fans, and it was rowdy, I've got to be honest. So I would assume they're knackered. They've been celebrating all afternoon, and here they go again. They've had a little break.
Swindon attacking cross into the penalty box there. Hutton went for it. It was defended by Harfield and just knocked behind. for a corner. You can feel I think you can almost feel the sort of state of shock around all parts of the ground. Now the goals have temporarily abated. So here's a Swindon corner. Sorry then, Phil. Kemp lifts it into the box. Aldershot head that away. Tolaj has it. They'll try and see if they can get the counter-attack going. And Khan has let that bounce when he looked favourite to win it. And Aldershot will play it forward towards Tolaj, who's on a hat-trick here. He's tried to put it through the feet of Godwin Malife, who's tripped him clumsily and concedes the free kick and will earn a yellow card. And there is nothing that Swindon can do defensively at the moment, it seems. The ball bounced, they look favourite to clear. Godwin Malife looked favourite to get there ahead of Tolaj, and in both cases it's Aldershot who came out on top. And great credit to them, because they're having a whale of a time and they are preying with great ruthlessness on every single moment of Swindon weakness that the home team has shown.
But again, it's Khan in there again, where the ball's bouncing and he's more worried about holding the man off than just dealing with the ball. He could just go to the ball, get it under control, play it back to the goalie, play it back to Godwin Malife, but no, he's more interested in holding the player off, trying to look, I don't know, but the time for that is gone. And then they've won. Then Aldershot have won it when they shouldn't have done, and then now we've got a dangerous free kick.
Which Glover takes, curls it into the box. That goes wide of the target. Down went Widgington there, quite spectacularly, but nothing given. Aldershot are going to bring on a couple of subs here, which they can enjoy for the record. If you're Swindon here, I don't know whether you try and bring on some of the other youngsters. So no hat trick for Tolaj. He's going to have to settle for two. Tommy Willard will come on to replace him, a former Southampton youngster, and Joe Haig, who has been at Chelsea. He will replace Josh Stokes. So Aldershot in the happy position where they can, I think they can consider they've got the game wrapped up, Phil, and they can rest players for their upcoming matches.
Yeah, it's all sewn up, as you can imagine. Make a few changes as they can, but yeah, but they still you still feel like they're not done with the scoring, and you know, again, yeah, they've been okay at Aldershot, and they've been good, and they've taken their chances, don't get me wrong, but they have not really had to work hard for the 7, and you can't argue that they have, but they have taken the chances when they've been given to them, which, you know, it is, you know, I think pretty much fact when you look at the game.
So I think this will almost certainly be creating all sorts of records in terms of the heaviest defeat for a league side against a National League side, and all sorts of stuff here as Van Stapasov plays this forward. Thomas heads it down. This should be Godwin Malife on halfway. He's just being forced backwards. Swindon try and blink in complete bewilderment at quite what has hit them here, trailing by 7 goals to 0 at the moment. Hat-trick for Barham, 2 for Tolaj as well. Swindon trying to win the ball here about 25 yards out from goal. Minoga just about gets it away, but concedes a throw, and Aldershot having to whack it into the stands again. Yeah, and you know, sometimes you got players in individual sports. As Swindon attack inside the penalty area, Kinsella tries to hook the ball back across the box, and I think his attempted cross takes a deflection, double deflection, back off Kinsella last. It's a goal kick.
Now, I mean, I know what I think, but have you seen anyone that's really looked like they want to make a difference in this game? Really thought to themselves, hang on a minute, something needs to be done. Need to take the game by the scruff of the neck, trying to kind of get the you know, spark the atmosphere, spark the team off, do anything like that? Because I don't think I've seen that.
I think if I'm going to stretch that definition to its outer limits, occasionally you've seen when Kemp's got the ball, he's tried to sort of run and be positive and see if he can do things, but you know, we're talking very, as I say, working from the lowest possible base here. Here's a ball forward aimed towards Kemp just outside the penalty area, who's got in a tangle initially with Harris. He's done well to keep hold of the ball. Kemp here, Kemp still going across the box, tries to finish, and Dan Kemp scores with a left-footed shot into the bottom corner, and Swindon have a goal back. 16 minutes left. Swindon 1, Aldershot 7. And there's a certain amount of ironic cheering going on wherever you look round the ground.
And there you go. You named him. And to be fair, yeah, you could put him as probably one of the not shining light in the game, but when he has gotten the ball, which has not been very often, he's tried to do a little bit, which is what he does, and he's done the same there. He got afforded a little bit of time. He got on the wrong side or the right side of the defender, who was trying to bring him down, and he rode the challenge. And then just cut inside and a decent little finish into the near post.
Oh, I think they've made Aldershot angry. Willard was coming forward there. Swindon have nicked the ball there, and there is a foul on Kemp by Frost. And that will be a free kick, and could be a yellow card for Frost as well. And it is. But in the grand scheme of things, what on earth does it matter? Swindon 1, Aldershot 7.
No, and Kemp, obviously, again, what does it matter? 7-0, you want to show a bit of 7-1, show a bit of passion, which he's done, but then he could have just quite easily been put in the book there as well for going after him and shoving him, so he's got to be careful, because it's not worth taking a booking in a game like this now.
There's Hutton trying to come in, and that's a foul. And yep, some of these tackles are like getting sort of ragged and a bit kind of petulant, a bit frustrated from Swindon, and they have to maintain some semblance of discipline and professionalism here in the face of this a quite spectacular humiliation by Aldershot.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing that after 15 minutes, Andrew. Do you know what I mean? At least it shows like that there's, well, hang on a minute, we need to sort of do something to disrupt them, or to ourselves to get, or the crowd on side or something. And it's taken to the 76th minute for someone to put in a bit of a challenge like that, where it is a bit sort of questionable, and I don't think that's good enough. And you can argue, oh, well, that's not what the game's about, and fouling people or that. So it is about that.
Physicality is one aspect.
Yeah, it's about stamping your authority, about getting the crowd on side, about influencing the game, doing something. But it's just been far too passive up until that point where he's put Kemp's had a shot, and I think the only shot really that's worked the goalkeeper throughout the whole game. So, and that's what 76 minutes is not really what you would expect.
And it was, it really was a very much a sort of individual goal by Kemp. Picked up the ball outside the penalty. I just managed to turn inside. Harris got the shot in and squeezed the ball inside Van Stappershoff's left-hand post. It's a long way for Van Stappershoff to go down, the giant goalkeeper. Swindon 1, Aldershot 7 here. This is Godwin Malife breaking down the right-hand side. Hutton's initially nipped past one man, but can't nip past two. Hutton looks up, curls across into the box. Gray's tried to think to play that back, but it's behind Austin. And Aldershot happy to clear. There as everyone goes through the weird motions of this quite remarkable FA Cup tie. It will be talked about for many, many years. Kemp is on another run forward here, just outside the penalty area, takes another shot and scores again. Swindon 2, Aldershot 7. Dan Kemp is on a hat-trick. He's into double figures for the season, and he alone is trying to rescue something from the crushing ignominy for Swindon.
Well, it was like role reversal there. Kemp's got the ball and he's running at Aldershot. They've all just backing off him, giving him plenty of time. He's cut inside, just around middle of the goal, and a fantastic finish into the right hand side. But like I said, a bit of role reversal there. Aldershot just not getting close to him, just backing off, not really getting tight, giving him space and time, and like we know that he can, a decent finish into that same right hand side.
Well, even if Kemp gets a hat-trick, I think Aldershot's Barham will be getting the match ball after that. So here's Swindon trying to attack down the left-hand side. Khan's won a free kick. And Swindon will bring some players forward here for this set piece. Well, what would have happened if MK Dons had not allowed him to play, Phil?
Well, and that's that's something to say. You can't say really. I don't think it would have been much difference if Young was playing, but if Kemp wasn't playing, it wouldn't have been great.
Here's the free kick into the box. Didn't reach Khan. Aldershot are trying to just defend from deep here, and the ball goes out of play for a throw. I think the Kemp goals have just added more of the kind of surreality to the afternoon rather than be a profound indication of anything significant. 2 good goals as they've been.
Well, I think what it shows is that obviously that however bad the first half was, it was 4. I think it was 4 at half time. That, you know, if it was 4-2 now, you'd be thinking to yourselves, well, hang on a minute, we've still got a chance of getting a replay or something out of it. Do you know what I mean?
Here is Kemp now in central midfield, just looking up, seeing if there's a bit of movement in front of him. Kinsella. And, if it doesn't go near Kemp, it's not going anywhere from Swindon's point of view. Blake Tracy's lost it. Throw in to Aldershot, who leads 7-2 here with 10 minutes to go.
I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. It is kind of false because they're 7-0 up. So they're not going to be putting the same intensity into their defending or, you know, as they would have done if they was 1-0 up. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, you got to take that into a bit of consideration, you know, that they're getting 2 quick goals back. But, you know, it just shows if they'd come out in the second half with a bit more determination, then anything really could have happened then. But as we've seen, what did happen at the beginning of the second half wasn't great, and we are where we are.
And that is embarrassed from Swindon's perspective, and well, just beautifully stunned from Aldershot's point of view, leading even if it is 7-2 rather than 7-0. Here's Godwin Malife on a run forward here, pokes it out wide to Hutton on the right hand side. Swindon dutifully throw players into the penalty box, but it goes deep towards Kinsella and Clayton. Here is Kemp. Kemp looks up, tries to curl across into the box, and Aldershot can defend comfortably. Clayton finds Kemp again, another low cross from Kemp, not entirely convincingly cleared by Minoga, but he got a foot on it and got it away to safety from Aldershot's point of view, and Glover back to Harris. And there's 8.5 minutes left. Swindon 2, Aldershot 7.
Yeah, and now Kemp's getting on the ball a bit more. He is looking better, but like I say, I'm not convinced by that now, especially with where the time and the goal's gone in. It's not easy to play when you're 7-0 down. It's just too late to kind of get about it a bit. But you know, at least he's doing something.
Willard for Aldershot. This is broken towards the edge of the box. Purposeful run from Frost. Haig has it outside the box. Might as well shoot. Hutton's blocked it. And Brewitt can head this down. This finds Austin. He's not got too much help in front of him. Tried to pick out the run of Gray on the left-hand side. I'm sympathetic to Austin because there wasn't really any other help.
No, but it's still a bad ball. He could have got it to him, you know, but that's just the way that Swindon have been all afternoon.
So Swindon have found Kemp again here. Kemp's all on his own. Harris just blocks him off this time, and Harfield back to the goalkeeper. Well, Kemp has provided a temporary diversion for Swindon until the final whistle goes. Trailing 7-2 here. He's the third player of this game to score a brace. Barham went on to get a hat-trick. There's Hutton, poor ball to the edge of the area beyond Khan, who bangs the turf in irked frustration. But you know, there we are. Here's Khan on the right hand side. Khan looks up, low cross into the box. Harris has got lots of time to just sidle forward here and come on a run. And the pass wasn't necessarily the best, but he's found Haig on the left hand side. And we're in the bizarre period. There's going to be a couple of extra subs from both teams here. Swindon are going to throw on Sonny Hart for a few minutes, and Fletcher Hubbard is going to come on as well, and Aldershot will be able to give an outing to Dejan Tetek, the former Reading player, among others. The substitute for them about to come on is Maxwell Mullins, but it's all just admin at this point. Kemp plays a ball down the right hand side. Hutton with the cross into the box for Swindon. Aldershot rise, head it clear without too much trouble there, and we'll try and see if they can counter-attack. And there's no real sort of specific kind of purpose or form to the game, is there? Aldershot can sit back, chill, and just be ready to frighten Swindon on the counter-attack. Yeah,
and that's why it's a bit false now that the possession Swindon have got, because I mean, you can't put a positive spin on this game really anyway, but now it's just Aldershot, like you say, they're just like games in the bag. Yeah, you don't want to concede, but sort of you don't want to get injured or don't want to get booked either.
Well, Kemp breaks into the box here, and Glover just harasses him effectively, and Kemp wins Swindon a corner.
Yeah, well, Aldershot are tired. They've been celebrating a lot as well, so there's that, and they look a bit leggy now. I've got to be honest, they do. They put a lot in this afternoon, and Kemp's getting the better of them on this right-hand side at the minute. But again, too late, and I don't want to say it's easy to play when you're 7-0 down, but when they're not got the same intensity, then it is easier for him. But it's all too late and should have been done a long time ago by all of them, as we all know, and sort of repeating myself, I know, but it's just frustrating.
Yep, so Aldershot making the changes. Maxwell Mullins, the young defender, comes on to replace Ryan Glover on the left-hand side. And like I say, we're also going to see Dejan Tetek come on here as well. For Aldershot, I think he's replaced Widrington. So double change coming from Swindon here, and Seydou Khan is going to come off to be replaced by the youngster Fletcher Hubbard, so home debut for him, and Sonny Hart will come on as well. So just check who the other sub. I think it's Brewitt who's come off. Yep, so he's walking away. So so Hubbard on for Swindon for the last few seconds.
He could be man of the match already.
BBC Radio Wiltshire, it's Swindon 2, it's Aldershot 7. Aldershot did lead by 7-0 at one stage. Swindon put the corner low in towards the near post. Austin was the target. It's blocked. It's out with Kemp here. Kemp's not got a massive amount of help. Hubbard, the youngster, is on, and he'll go back to Godwin Malife. And here is Hubbard. At some point, both teams will wake up from the current unreality that is facing them. They will see the newspaper scoreline printed down, written down, wherever, on the BBC website, and it will dawn on them on quite what a unbelievable, and I do use that word lightly, occasion it has been. Godwin Malife to Austin, who turns, shoots on the edge of the box and puts it over the town end.
Yeah, Swindon have been, a little passing around, not really doing much with it. Again, Aldershot not really putting the same intensity into shutting down as much as they had been earlier on in the game, and the ball's just dropped out to Charlie Austin, and he's had a pop shot, probably out a bit of frustration from outside the box, and it's cleared the town in. So again, not a great bit of play.
It would feel somehow unfair if Swindon had the last word with the 2 goals at the moment on the whole balance of things. 81333 for your texts. Put Wilts in front of those. Twitter is at BBC Wilt Sport. As well, Austin for Swindon, who turns this down the left in the kind of direction of the youngster Gray. Let's say everything is just a slightly bizarre spectacle. It's in a film somewhere. It just feels all a little bit like a dream sequence at the moment, as the Aldershot fans start to olay as they play the ball back to Van Stoppershoff. But Swindon will, of course, have to look at themselves collectively, but so will Mike Flynn, having changed things around with his defence, and changed it about 10 minutes into the game after they were about 3-0 down. Tetek has it for Aldershot. So they're just working the ball comfortably at the moment around with Frost and so on and so forth. And Harris, and just popped into midfield. Of course, there's no particular pressure on here. Aldershot 3 up inside the opening 10 minutes, 4-0 up by half time. Here's Kwame Thomas, and he's just managed to get away from Sonny Hart there, who's on at the back, and a little bit lucky to get that decision, I think.
Well, I think Kemp's a bit lucky as well, because he's gone in with his forearm onto the centre back there, and I think he's a bit lucky not to get given the free kick or put in the book there. I think that was a bit that was out of frustration, that he's done that, because I mean it's the olays and all that sort of stuff. It's hard to take when for them, and it's of their own doing. Don't get me wrong, but he's lucky not to get booking or worse there, to be honest.
Swindon hit a free kick long, which Blake Tracy heads down towards the edge of the box. Aldershot clear, leading by 7-2. Austin can't get hold of it, and the Subtetek will try and get their Swindon look to win it back, but it won't drop to them on the edge of the box. Here's Hubbard. Hubbard's put under pressure, and that pass will go out of play. BBC Radio Wiltshire, like I say, 1333 for your text, put Wilts in front of those. Twitter is at BBC Wilt Sport. 5 more minutes before, from Aldershot's point of view, the champagne can be uncorked and the pictures can be taken, and from Swindon the dark surgical inquest into the deepest recesses of the Wiltshire body can get underway. Aldershot trying to attack here, but Hart does well to win it and clear it, and Austin heads it towards. But yet there's not many words left to say. It's just everyone trying to motor through the action here as the youngster Hubbard has possession. Godwin Malife in towards Kemp. Hubbard half tackled on the edge of the box, back with Kemp again about 25 yards out, tries to skip past one man. Swindon have it again with Godwin Malife just outside the penalty area. Aldershot with pretty much everyone back here. Hutton looks up, throws across into the box, downward header from Austin, and there is a third for Swindon. Austin looks round, checks he's not offside, and what a strange afternoon it's been. Swindon make the scoreline look just plain bizarre. Swindon 3, Aldershot 7.
Well, the first time that he's made that run where he's sort of between the middle of the goal and the front post, he's got his head on it, and it's a great header. It's a good ball in from Hutton. We've had those balls in, not all day, but they're the better balls that have been like that, and everyone's been at the far post. The first time that he got sort of across the defender and he's got his head on it, and it's a decent finish there from Austin. But again, too little, obviously too late. But something that we've kind of been out to see that would help if somebody would run across the front, and he's done it and scored. So again, bizarre scoreline.
Yeah, handball there from Kinsella. This does remind me a little bit of the bit in Fever Pitch where Nick Hornby is horrified by the Swindon fans and all the rest of the 1969 League Cup, and then he looks at the photos of next week and he can't understand how the players are enjoying the win next week. But that's the strange thing, it all comes around quickly, and somehow Swindon have to deal with this spanking they have been handed, and face Colchester on Tuesday. And Aldershot are breaking down towards the byline here, cross into the box, that's over hit beyond the strikers, and it's 7-3 here. So there's a ball from Hutton given away, and Aldershot have it in midfield, and at the back Harris through the middle. Willard can break forward here as Aldershot are determined to have the final word. Austin wins the ball cleanly. Hutton is somehow playing as an auxiliary striker here. This is with Hubbard. Hubbard is sort of caught in midfield. He's a tiny figure, little Fletcher Hubbard, and he can't get hold of the ball in the end. The Aldershot midfield is just too physically strong for him. 7-3, Aldershot lead here. And the sages who said, well, there are probably going to be goals in this. We give you many congratulations as Aldershot just give the ball away. 75 seconds to go. Well, there we go, Phil. Well, normally you'd have a look around. This is a thing from Swindon's point of view, isn't it? Normally you look round and you'd say, we have to make changes here. A number of players have dropped below the standards I expect, but when the players have dropped below the standards you'd expect, you're asking 16 or 17-year-olds to potentially try and replace them.
And it's unfair, and you wouldn't expect them to be able to, because they'd be in the squad if they could. And like I said earlier, there's been sort of signs that it's not all rosy, leading up to the game. It's not like a complete surprise that we've not put in a performance today, because there's been signs. We haven't had one win in 5 and not great performances. So, like I said earlier, not had the opportunity to change things around and threaten players with changing them or read them the riot act or anything.
Here's Hutton. Hutton looks up. It's not a bad cross into the back post, and Austin heads in another one. Swindon 4, Aldershot 7 now, with about 25 seconds to go. It's just plain bizarre. Aldershot have absolutely humbled Swindon for the vast majority of the game, but the scoreline gets more and more peculiar.
Well, I mean, I can see someone down there going, "Oh, see, look, it's that easy." But do you know what? No, when you're 7-0 down, it is easier to score against a team because they ain't putting the same in. So, there you go.
And the referee blows the final whistle. Swindon 4, Aldershot 7. But don't let that kid you. In the history of Swindon's humblings by non-league sides in the 21st century, this is the most damning, embarrassing and shaming of the lot, despite those late goals from Kemp and Austin. They were 7-0 down after 65 minutes to their National League opponents, who revelled in the timidity and weakness of their defending and punished them gleefully and deservedly for every chance they got. Hat-trick for Jack Barham, couple of goals for Laurent Tollage as well. Swindon were woeful for the vast majority of it, and the scoreline suggests that they may merely have been beaten, but believe me, that was far, far worse. Tip of the hat to Aldershot. May they have good luck and good progress in the next round, because they were utterly ruthless, even though it says Swindon 4, Aldershot 7. So.
Yeah, and like you say, I don't think Swindon are value for the 4 goals. Aldershot gave up towards the end, but they obviously didn't have the same intensity. They'd won the game after 60 minutes, 70 minutes, so that's where their head was at. So, Swindon weren't going to get back in the game with the goals that they got, towards the end. And like you say, it wasn't a great performance from start to finish. Aldershot took their chances well. They were given chances. They didn't have to work too hard, but when they were given the opportunity, they took them with some great finishes. A great little bits of play, but Swindon just weren't at the races. Defending wasn't really there at all. Attacking wise, didn't really create many chances at all either. No devilment really, just aimless balls into the box. No one really attacking it. No little through balls or 1-2s that we kind of see sort of with Kemp sometimes when he's running and little runs off people. None of that was going on today. And Aldershot were good value for their victory today. Obviously Swindon are going to be very disappointed, and the manager's going to have to read them the riot act, I assume.
Well, a great day for Aldershot, one of their happiest since dropping out of the Football League more than 30 years ago. Not quite as grand as getting back into the Football League as they did, but to come to a side a division above you in the Football League and just cut them apart at joyful will. They'll talk about it for years, and so will Swindon fans, but in hushed tones, the like of which will say, "Why dare you talk of the day we met Aldershot at home in the FA Cup?" Swindon 4, Aldershot 7.
What an extraordinary game of football, and what a brilliant commentary from Andrew Hawes and Phil Smith. It is for Swindon Town not a day to say I was there, because at 7-0, on course for the heaviest home defeat ever, but 7-4 is the final score. And Aldershot having their own party with their 1,200 fans away in the corner of the stand between the Arkle's John Trollope and the empty Stratford Bank. And it is they who progress into the second round draw tomorrow afternoon. Swindon Town regroup for Colchester. Promotion's always been the priority. League 2 Tuesday night and another blank first weekend in December. What do you make of what you've seen? What do you make of what you've heard? If you were here in the 6,000 plus crowd, or if you've listened from afar on the BBC Sounds app, we welcome your views. Texting 81333, WhatsApping 08000 321 333. We'll at the start of those messages.